I should have never taken that last train, never ignored that feeling in my gut. But I did. And now, I'm trapped. No way out. No one to help me. And the worst part? I'm not alone. It started as an ordinary night. A long shift at work, too many emails, a headache creeping in. I just wanted to get home, take a shower, sleep. The usual. The metro was my best option. Fast, predictable, safe, or so I thought. I reached the station just before midnight. The platform was almost empty, just a few late commuters staring at their phones. The fluorescent lights flickered slightly. The air was cold, damp. I reached into my pocket to check my phone. 8% battery. Not great, but I didn't think much of it. The train arrived, doors slid open, and I stepped inside. That was my first mistake. I expected the usual hum of late-night travel. Soft conversations, the occasional cough, the rhythmic rattle of the tracks. But the moment the doors closed, everything went silent. Absolute silence. No voices, no engine hum, not even the faint vibration of movement. I looked around. The carriage was nearly empty. Nearly. At the far end sat a man in a gray coat. His head was tilted downward, hands clenched into fists. He didn't move. A chill ran down my spine. Let him be, I told myself. Probably drunk. Or just exhausted. The train was moving faster than usual. Too fast. I glanced at the route map. The next station should have been in a minute. But we kept going and going. The tunnels flashed by, an endless flow of black veins. No stations, no announcements. Panic started creeping in. I pulled out my phone. No signal, no Wi-Fi. The battery now read 0, and the screen went black. My heartbeat picked up. I walked toward the driver's cabin. Knocked. Silence. Knocked harder. No response. I tried the door handle, locked. Then the lights flickered, and for a split second, I saw something in the glass. Not my reflection. Something else. Something watching me. I turned around. The carriage was empty, but the air felt heavier, the silence denser, as if the walls themselves were breathing. A sound. A faint shuffle. I looked toward the end of the carriage, where the man in the gray coat had been. He was closer. I hadn't seen him move, hadn't heard his steps, but he was closer. The lights flickered again, and when they returned, he was only a few feet away, his face hidden in shadow, but his lips, wide, unnatural, curved into a grin. I stumbled back, gripping the door handle. I had to get out. The windows were dark, only blackness beyond. I couldn't tell if we were still moving or standing still. Panic tightened around my throat. The lights went out. Seconds of darkness. When they returned, he was right in front of me. I screamed, but my scream was swallowed by the screech of metal as the train jolted. The floor tilted beneath me. I fell, hitting the cold ground hard. I scrambled to my feet, heart pounding. The man was gone. The carriage empty again. But something had changed. The advertisements lining the train's walls were different. Outdated. Torn at the edges. A missing persons poster was plastered near the door. The face, it looked familiar. My breath caught in my throat. It was me. I reached out, fingers trembling, tracing the photo. The details, my name, my age, everything was correct. But the date of disappearance, it was a week ago. The train lurched again. The lights flickered, and I saw movement in the reflection. Dozens of figures standing in the shadows. Watching. Unmoving. Next station. The automated voice crackled, distorted. I ran to the doors, pounding against them. Let me out. The train screeched to a stop. The doors slid open. I stumbled out onto the platform. The air felt wrong. Too thick, too still. The station was deserted. No staff, no passengers. The signs above the exits were written in a language I didn't recognize. Behind me, the train doors remained open. A voice, my own, whispered from inside. Come back. I turned and saw my reflection in the train window again. But it wasn't copying me anymore. It grinned. The doors slammed shut. The train sped away, vanishing into the tunnel. I stood there, breathless, alone in a station that didn't exist. I turned in circles, searching for a way out. But every corridor led back to the same platform, the same flickering lights, the same stagnant air. And then, I heard it, the distant rumble of a train approaching. I stepped back, pressing myself against the cold tile wall. My breath came in short gasps. The train emerged from the darkness, slowing down as it approached. The headlights flickered. The doors slid open. It was the same train. Inside, I saw myself, sitting there, staring blankly ahead. My heartbeat thundered in my ears. And then, slowly, that version of me turned its head. It smiled. I shook my head, stepping back. No, this wasn't real. This wasn't happening. A voice, mine, whispered from inside the carriage. "It's your stop." My feet felt frozen to the ground. The air was thick, suffocating. I wanted to run, but my legs wouldn't move. The other me stood up, walked towards the door, stopped. It reached out a hand. "Come back." The train doors began to close. I had a choice: step inside, or be trapped here forever. I hesitated. The train pulled away, disappearing into the darkness. I turned, and behind me, the platform signs had changed. They read only one word: stay. I wasn't sure if I had escaped, or if I had just become part of something much worse.